Beer on the Run podcast.
Beer on the Run podcast. I still read blogs. You still listen to podcasts. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here.
I had been a beer enthusiast since before there was such a thing as a beer enthusiast.
That was a very born to run night.
Strange. Okay. All right. Well, so to be fair, because I don't like that style, to be fair.
Tell me more about your dark sense of humor.
Is my brain making stuff up?
Swipe left.
So I'm now officially back in Denver and trying to restart my life here in the cold and the snow and questioning my decisions. But yeah, happy to be back.
Awesome. And Clint, you are drinking what today?
I am drinking, and very basic, I am drinking a Pliny the Elder to celebrate the FKT talk. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big accomplishment, big beer.
I need to get on your level. Maybe I'll just hold my bottle. I'll just do the whole wine bottle.
And then I went to my local bottle shop today over at Beer Junction in West Seattle, and I picked up a couple cans. I saw there was a can from Clint's hometown of Lodi, California. So
okay.
I got the High Water Brewing Imperial Campfire Stout. Also has a cute can. Cool. So cheers. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this. I think this is my first podcast. So
that's crazy because you work in the news. So you're on, I've seen you've done stuff on camera, either on Instagram Live or other means. But yeah, I mean, well, welcome to a podcast.
Yeah, thank you. I'm liking it so far because I can drink. So I feel like most news interviews would be like this and go a lot better.
We encourage the drinking. So, I mentioned that the Backbone Trail, and I think you said briefly that it was just kind of a last minute thing, which is crazy to me because I've done the Backbone Trail twice. Once my first time when I first got into ultra running back in 2011, that's actually how I met Jimmy Dean and the Southern California Coyotes. We had a group of 10 people that wanted to do it over 2 days because, I had one ultra 40 miles long, and there was we've heard about the Backbone. We lived in LA, and the concept of 69-mile long trail, we can break that up in 2 days. And we had this long planning process. We met at Veggie Grill multiple times. Billy Yang was part of that. Josh Spector was part of that. Colin Cooley and his wife, Kristen Cooley, were part of it. We had a big group. It was tons of fun, aid stations everywhere. And three of us, including Helen Wu and Aaron Coven and myself, did the whole thing over 2 days. And we thought that was a huge accomplishment. And then
it is.
Years later, we're like, let's do the whole thing at once, but lots of planning on our part. So I'm love to hear the lack of planning on your part.
Well, welcome to my life. My life is very lack of planning, but I should say that I had always really wanted to do the Backbone Trail. I grew up in Malibu, and I didn't really run at the time. I only got into running. I was 25, 26 when I got into trail running. And I just didn't even know that all these amazing trails existed where I grew up. And I also, I cover fires a lot for work. And I covered the Woolsey fire pretty intensely, 2018. And a lot of the fire scar was on the Backbone Trail. So that kind of added another element into these mountains have been through a lot. I've been through a lot growing up in them. And also just the idea of point to point. I love that type of thing. So I had been kind of mulling over doing it for a few months. And I discussed it with my friend Mac McIntosh, who is another badass ultra runner in the LA area. And in July, my coach actually kind of planted the seed. His name's Justin Torres, and he runs this new run group called Run Till Death. And he's rad, and he's one of these guys who kind of plants things in your head, well, what if you went for this? You could run this, and I'm like, are you batshit? There's no way. He was like, what's the FKT for the women on the Backbone Trail in July? And I was like, it doesn't matter because I don't think I could pull that off. So we kind of tabled it, and I went to Colorado, and I just kind of started running out here and dying out here because the altitude and the trails are a lot different than in California. And it was something we kind of were tossing around, but I was like, I don't have the training. Like so we forgot about it. And then I went back home and I saw Mac did Backbone, and she set the FKT for women's unsupported. And she didn't tell anyone, and she just like went and did it with like, no one there. And I was like, holy shit, like if she can do this without any support, all by herself, what's stopping me from trying? Like, what's stopping me from like facing my fear and like going and just seeing if I could do it. And I didn't even think about the FKT. I just was like, I just want to do this thing. Like, I want to close out 2020, like godforsaken year with something. There's been no races. So I like pitched it to my coach. I was like, hey, so like, I have a crazy idea. Like, what if I did like Backbone? This was like 9 days before I was going to do it. And I was like, do you think I could do that? Like, it'd be fine, right? And he was like, this is crazy and dumb, but like, you should totally go for it.
We could have gone a whole lot longer. And
Brewery that you want to go to after COVID's all done, the one where you want to meet up with your friends for the first time and hug everybody and gulp down a few beers and party and yell at each other across a table in a crowded room, that brewery, that's the one that you need to really be working to support right now.
Nailed it.